Let's talk how to get good at magic. So, as always, I got a script and I'm going to go for that, and hopefully, this one stays out of the way of the camera. So, yeah, let's just start with this, right? So, basically, what I'm trying to talk about in this video is how you can be proficient at using magic, which is changing reality in accordance with will through the dynamics of spells, rituals, and whatnot. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my own experience and just I have a couple of bullet points and stuff that I'm going to go through with how I got good at magic and also a lot of the other people that I've talked to and my friends and practitioners and such how they also got good. So let me switch over and then I'm going to start talking, right? So, first off, deliberate practice. You want consistent practice as much as you can get it. In a lot of my videos, I'm like meditate daily, meditate as much as you can daily if possible. Let me know down in the comments if you guys remember me saying daily if possible, right? So, Malcolm Gladwell, who has written a lot of books on success, right? He says that it takes 10,000 hours to become a master at something, particularly in his book Outliers. So you want to practice something about magic every single day. Now, this might be meditating every day. This might be reading every day. This might be doing a spell every day, working with a sigil every day, doing an invocation every day, doing some kind of prayer or even lighting a candle or whatever every single day. Maybe even pondering about the things that you were reading because you really don't have enough time to read or enough time to do spell work and stuff. So let's keep going. Magic isn't just about doing spells, though. You need to research, read, practice, and live magic in everyday life. Remember that magic is changing reality in accordance with will, and you can do that without having the whole hoopla of pomp and circumstance of your whole ritual setup and all the steps as described in magical theater. Little plug there. So, yeah, let's go with one of the big things. As you can tell, I read a lot. I still do. Read. Don't just go with one system. Read every book and every PDF and every Reddit post or Facebook post or anything about magic that you can get your hands on. Research, go deep, go nuts. Spend your time with it. Make it a hobby, make it a passion. Because if you want to get good at, and why wouldn't anyone want to get good at the skill of being able to create their world around them and change events in their favor, why wouldn't anybody want that? So, good question. So, skill building. Focus on one thing that you're passionate about, like meditating, astral traveling, journeying, candle magic, the 50 names of Marduk, maybe working with the Gowesha. Focus on one thing that you find that just hooks you, that that gets you. It just draws you in. Like, that's what happened with me with the Simon Necronomicon years ago. And that's why I basically built this channel on that because it got me. It got me and I got it. And here I am, 4 years later? Technically 5 because I started it in 2015 and this video is coming out in 2020. Woohoo! Yeah, like for example, practicing with building skills and stuff, it's depth, not breadth. So you want to practice, pick a skill or a system and master it. Go in as deep as you possibly can and learn everything about it that you possibly can. Become obsessed with it. I think you guys are sensing a theme here. Got to get obsessive, got to practice a lot, got to make it a thing, right? Let's see. Along with reading, we're going to talk about doing research. Watch videos like mine. I have over 300 on this channel that you can watch, and there's plenty of other magic YouTubers out there. There's my buddy DH Thorne, there's The Black Tower, there's Mind and Magic, there's Dark Sorcery, there's a whole bunch of YouTubers that talk about magic non-stop. A ton of them that you can learn from. Let's see. Where else? Yep. Also, read. can't emphasize that enough. And speaking of read, I have tons of books here that I've read, and I have several books for your reading pleasure that will teach you magic depending on what you want to learn. You can check out my my books playlist. Wonder why I stuttered on that. Bleh. That talks about each of my books, including my upcoming fantasy novel, which actually should just be released a couple days from now, depending on when this video comes out. Anyway, so find a mentor too. I can mentor you through emails, and I even do Skype and camera things that I kind of schedule and figure out through my Patreon. Or if you don't want to do the Patreon thing, you can talk to me through email, and I'd be happy to make some time with you for mentoring. Let's see. Practice. Do something magical every day. I know I already said this, but we're going to go a little bit kind of more expansive into it. Read, meditate, do a spell, or just sit in ritual space. I personally once spent 6 months solid every single day. I want to say back in 2011, maybe. So long ago now. Doing nothing but circle casting every single night. I cast a circle, sat in it until the energy went away, did it again. And I did that for like 3 hours a night non-stop for like 6 months. It was probably longer than that, but my memory's fuzzy back then. Happens with age. Let's see. So I got a question for you guys. What is your one magical skill that maybe you want to dig into, or that you spent a truckload of time practicing? Put it down in the comments if you're, if you're really good at it, or if you're just that's your niche, right? Put in the comments. Let's see. Let's talk about the goal, right? Don't concentrate on how good you are when you are practicing a particular skill. Like, you may be really, really insanely good at meditating or visualizing or whatever. Please understand that there are a lot of things such as meditating, visualizing, and being able to write or record things are things that you're going to need to know. But if you are not that good at it, don't let yourself get down about it. Don't focus on how you are. Focus on what you want to be like. Set that as a goal. I want to master this, because that motivation and that goal will drive you through all your different barriers, especially if you make it consistent with practice. Let's see. Another one. Do the mundane stuff. After you do spell work, follow through on your stuff. So if you do a spell to manifest something or change something, you also have to change too, or you have to take action in the real world to carry that energy through to manifest that thing. People try magic for a little while and it doesn't work out for them, and they're like, oh, screw this or whatever. And that is probably because they did not do the mundane action. Remember the sandwich, mundane, spell work, mundane. And if people don't engage in that, then their results are like next to nil for being able to manifest. You can argue with me on that in the comments if you want, but to each practitioner and whatnot. But that's what I've found, that's what I've written about, and that's what's been successful for me and many other people. Let's see. Thought I had an extra thought, but maybe it'll come back. Oh yeah, work on your mindset. Take ownership for everything that happens to you, period. And if you don't like something that happened, think of how you could have changed it, or anticipate things that are happening in the future and see what you can do about it. You got to take ownership of your mental state and your events and your environment and all that. Being able to change reality in accordance with will involves basically understanding that your universe is your universe and you are the god of it, for lack of a better term, and that might be influenced by the fact that I just finished the book Imaginary Friend. I love these videos when I get into rants. This is fun. But you really have to understand your own ability to manifest things, good or bad, intentional or unintentional. And depending on how you act, it can bring about certain events. Like if you go to a party thinking you're going to have a bad time, chances are you're going to have a bad time. If you go to a job interview and you're all like afraid and whatnot, chances are you ain't going to get that job and whatnot, So you have to be able to control your emotional state, because that is one of the things that you will end up manipulating during spell work for various means. You got to learn how to bring yourself calm down. You got to learn how to hype yourself up either by happiness or anger. You got to learn how to manipulate how you feel. You got to be the master of everything in here hypothetically and arguably, before you can be the master of everything out here. Let's see. Keep records. So my Books of Shadows, I am also starting to use another one that I'm writing, kind of an expansion to Handy Sigil Magic / Movement Magic. I'm working on that system again, which is kind of fun. I wonder what I'm going to be able to do with it. But yeah, keep a record of every spell that you do so you can look at your successes, your failures, and reflect on everything that happened in that ritual, because you want to be able to build on your skills, and so you really need to be honest with yourself about what worked, what didn't, how you could improve, and you might not think of these things or be able to hold them all in over time. That's why it's really good to write things down. I, for myself, know that if I write something down, I'm going to remember it. If I don't write something down, I'm not. Let's see. Next one, collaborate. Go on Reddit, join magic groups, talk with others who are both new and old to the practice, learn from them. Don't be narrow-minded about what others do. My practice may be completely different than yours, but I'm sure I can learn something from you, and arguably you could learn something from me, even if it's the smallest bit. Take what I say with a grain of salt. Take what everyone else says with a grain of salt. See what they do that fits in with your own style, let's say, and go from there. Don't take everything anyone says as gospel, but also don't throw out their opinion just because they might be working a different system or have a different opinion about an entity or deity or whatever. Although Enki is not Lucifer, I'm throwing that out there, period. Let's see. And by the way, in terms of collaborating, there's also my little plug for mentoring, which I can do for you guys. Let's see. Let's talk about personalizing things. There's so many books, including a bunch of them up there, that talk about how you can read this little poem and put these ingredients together and light this colored candle, and boom, this is what you're going to get. The more you personalize something, the more you make it yours, the more you are able to integrate it in your subconscious, and the more you are able to manifest something through the gate of the subconscious to the web of the universe to influencing everything. Have you ever read okay, back in school, right? Did you ever do a presentation where your group mate or whatever read the script versus when you read the script? It's much easier, yeah, if they wrote it versus you writing it. Blah. Isn't it much easier to do something or read something that you wrote rather than what somebody else did? That's kind of what I'm talking about here. The more personal magic gets, the easier it is. Or even with different phrases and stuff like what's in the Simon Necronomicon, the more that you practice it, the more off the cuff it's going to be, the more flowy it's going to be. So not only personalizing things, but also practice. Don't take anything that someone says in a book as, oh, this is the only way to get it done. You can find ways to do things. That's why we can make our own custom sigils versus just using sigils found in books. How did those sigils come to be? Well, at one point in time, somebody made them up, and you can too. Let's see, did I have anything else on this list? Yeah, I did talk about the modeling thing. That was the last thing. So, this has been how to be good at magic, right? How to master magic, how to improve your skills, and how to get good at it. This was a rapid fire random list that I came up with about 10 minutes ago, and I hope that you guys liked this. Let me know in the comments and share with whoever else watches this video down in the comments about anything that you might have to add about what they should do to get better at magic, or you can talk about what you are currently practicing or currently learning. You can check out any of the books that I have through my Amazon page, which you can find a link to in the description, also stuff at the end of this video, and that's how you can also find my Facebook group, Magickology YT, and my Facebook page, Magickology YT. So, good luck at learning magic, be a boss at it, and good hunting. Thanks for watching my video. So if you want to check out my playlists, I have, among others, the Simon Necronomicon, the Tree of Life, General Magic, Tulpamancy, a playlist on my books, the elements, stones, the theories that govern magic, and the gods and goddesses of Mesopotamia. If you want to check out my books on Amazon, I have Creating Consciousness, Magical Mechanics, Magical Theater, Handy Sigil Magic, Magical Movement, which is an update and expansion upon Handy Sigil Magic. Magical Mastery, which is a combination masterwork of magical theater and magical mechanics. And The Guide to the Spheres and Beyond. You can also find me on Facebook at Magickology YT. You can email me at priestofthenecro@gmail.com, and you can even check out my Instagram, which is Magickology. And good hunting.